Alright, hey guys, hole 4 here. You're going to see that I am going to use extra mile here. I'm also going to go sniper, so do note the club change that it needs to be done on this hole. So here you can see I switched to extra mile for the tee shot. It can also be done with Apocalypse, Thor. Well, I'm not really going to use much power. I'm going to focus on, if anything, just making sure that I get the ball in play to give myself a, hopefully, easy shot for the second shot. So that is ideal. What I want is to get the ball into the second fairway. What I've noticed about this hole is they have greatly changed the way that the fairway tends to run out. And so, it's very inconsistent anymore with the run out that you get. And with those inconsistencies, what I recommend is definitely trying to keep the top spin down and, maybe 4 or 5, somewhere in there. Here I'm going to go just slightly more than 4. And I'm just going to focus for this landing zone. I don't need to get carried away here with how hard I try to hit this. So here you can see I'm about 3 rings into power, but it's also max over power. You can see I have a wind that's pointed downwind, so I'm going to play about 2 rings over and just power up to the very littlest that I can do, basically. So you can see kind of where I have my power set, and hopefully I don't get a terrible run out. So sometimes you'll see that the ball will slide along the ground. So ideally I'm going to be avoiding that, and keep in mind that results will vary from time to time. You can just as easily get a bad run out and a very bad break to where it'd be very challenging on this hole. But fortunately for me, I was able to just hit perfect ball and make sure that I was careful, not worry too much about topspin. Here, let's see how this one runs out. Very similar, that it didn't have too much wrong with that one, that it rolled out very slowly. So here you can see we're going to be very much towards max with our adjustment. I am +9, +8 into max distance. So that needs to be factored in to my adjustment, but also I'm moving to a lower elevation target. So anytime that happens, that also needs to be considered. So instead of doing an overplay, which I usually would, I might just play rings more spot up here. So maybe 5.6 is almost exactly what I'm going to do. Keeping in mind that I should need to go more than that, in theory. And the reason being, here you can see that I'm actually able to slide this into the hole. The reason that I don't need to go more than that in this situation, because I'm in plus yardage. If you guys have been listening to especially holes 1 and 2, very similar situation. When I move the target to lower ground, it causes the ball to come in lower than it's supposed to. So you'll see that the ball doesn't deflect as much. So you'll see that not only did the rings not play as much, but the ball comes in lower, and it won't have that offset. So how you've seen, like sometimes, I'll consider, the plus yardage. Maybe I'll put it on, the edge of the cup. But, when it comes in a little bit lower, there's a little bit less wind effect. So the effect is definitely less. So you'll see that I'm almost playing maybe 20% less on what I should be playing, because under normal circumstances, I'd easily be into 6 some rings there, maybe 6.3. So maybe 10-15% less there. So just something to keep in mind when going about playing that hole. And hopefully you guys are also able to get that one to drop. And you can see that we're making very quick work of this course. I've given you, 4 potential hole outs in 4 holes. So, hopefully you guys are taking some notes here, and at the very least just kind of honing in on your precision a little bit and going over everything and just being very careful with the way that you go about doing your ring play and shot setup routine. So good luck, and I'll catch you guys on hole 5 soon.